weren't supposed to wake up yet. You weren't supposed to wake up yet.
Why?
Because I wanted to serve you coffee in bed.
I didn't feel like staying in bed.
Honey, I know how disappointed you are, but I just can't bring myself to drill for oil on this ranch. Won't you try to understand how I feel about the land?
I have tried, Max, but it doesn't make any sense to me. None of this makes any sense to me. Not anymore.
What's the matter, Lena? You look upset.
I was thinking, maybe I ought to move back out to the ranch.
Oh. Well, it'd be nice to be with your folks, huh? But you'd have that long drive there and back and be late at night.
No, what I mean is that I give up all this singing business.
Oh, now, you don't mean that, do you? Elena, you have this wonderful voice, and look how fast your career is going.
Yeah, but Nita, singing it's not fun anymore.
Why not?
Because I feel like I have to be perfect all the time. I mean, the more successful I am, the more nervous I get. And each show has to top the last one. There's no end in sight.
Have you told this to Billy Joe?
Ah, how my two favorite women doing tonight, huh?
Oh, you know very well how I'm doing.
How about you, Don?
Not so good.
Elena didn't sleep so well.
Well, I got a little news here that's going to pick you up, sleep or no sleep.
What are you talking about?
Elena, you're going to sing on TV tonight.
What?
You're going to be a superstar before you know it.
Welcome home, Elliot. You've been missed.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be back.
How was your trip?
Well, it was tougher than I expected.
Oh, Elliot. You were able to talk to Roger Williams, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
No.
Williams was in a coma when I arrived in Washington. He never regained consciousness. He passed away last night.
Oh, I'm so very sorry. I know Roger Williams was the one person that could prove you hadn't been a traitor in Cambodia.
Yes, when I arrived in Washington, I spent long hours with him in that hospital, filled with despair, wondering if I wouldn't have been better off in his place.
Elliot, no.
Well, I don't feel that way anymore.
I should think not. I regret the man's death, but I regret him not being able to help you more. Well, we'll just have to find another way to clear your name, that's all. If that sounds terrible, I'm sorry.
No, it sounds like the loyal friend you are. And Roger Williams did the best he could for me. He left a letter.
Barrett? Hello, Jeb. How are you?
Fine. I just want to let you know that the barbed wire came that we ordered right after you left town.
Great. At the rate that fence in the south pasture keeps going out on us, we'll need every roll we ordered.
Yeah. Well, look, it's all ready to go. It's in the shed there, you know.
Good. Thanks for letting me know. Is there something else on your mind?
I went and checked the cellar door again, and I cannot figure out how Ginny got locked in there.
And?
And there's no way that door could have closed by itself.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
My father was a rancher. My grandfather was a rancher, and Well, his grandfather before him.
Don't you see, Max? I don't want you to stop ranching. If you let World Oil drill and they find oil, you'll be able to buy a spread as big as Texas, and you can still do your ranching.
I want to do my ranching on the property I have. I want to do it on the land I borrowed money from the bank to buy.
You only had to borrow because you were too proud to use my money.
That's right.
But if you go with the oil wells, you wouldn't have to borrow money again. You'd have your own money, Max, lots of it. This is an opportunity of a lifetime, and you're turning it down because of some sentimental notions you have about raising cattle?
It's not the cattle. It's the whole idea of... Look, what are we doing? We went round and round about this all last night. Rena, stop it.
You won't have breakfast if I do.
I don't care about breakfast. I care about us. Look, if we don't get off of this subject, we're just going to have one really big fight, and I don't want that.
Neither do I.
I want to reach a compromise with you. I really do.
All right. Then at least have some company come out here and do an oil survey in our land.
I thought about it all last night, but I just can't do it.
Max.
Look, it goes against everything I believe in. Now, I'm not saying that I'm all right, and I'm not saying that you're all wrong. It's just something that I feel, and there's nothing I can do that will change it.
I don't understand you.
I agree. You really don't understand me.
And you don't understand me. Because if you did, you know that I can't live this way much longer. I just can't, Max.
But Elliot, this letter that Roger Williams left, does it state that you were not responsible for the failure of the escaped attempt?
Yes. The letter clears my name.
Oh, Elliot, that's wonderful. It's what we hoped for.
Yes, now, Vicky, I've told you, but no one else must know.
But why not? I would think that you'd want this information made public as soon as possible.
Yes, but not at the expense of others. I can't make the letter public without hurting a number of other people.
I don't understand you.
Well, look, people have thought the worst of me for so long, a little longer won't hurt. And in some instances, they've been justified in what they thought about me.
But in this instance, they were not. And I think you should do everything you can to set the record straight.
I will in time. Vicky, I have the proof of my innocence. I'll make it public when I know it's right to do so.
Well, I don't understand, but I'll accept your judgment.
Well, you have no choice.
Exasperating man. All right, will you tell me at least? Was Roger Williams the traitor?
I'd rather not say just yet.
Well, I can see I'm going to have a lot to accept here. How about Barrett? Does he know that Roger Williams escaped?
Yes, Colonel Austin told Barrett when he came to Houston to present him with the medal.
Does Barrett know you went to Washington to see Williams?
I'm not sure at this point how much Barrett knows.
Well, are you planning to share the letter with Barrett?
No, not just yet.
Why not?
Colonel Austin told me that Barrett remembers nothing of the escape attempt. In fact, he doesn't even remember leaving Cambodia.
Oh, I had no idea.
Well, the man endured 5 years of hell over there, and Colonel Austin and I agree that, well, that he should regain his memory of the entire experience on his own.
But do you think that's possible without professional help?
Well, I doubt it. Some sort of therapy will be needed. Barrett spent 4 years longer in that camp than I did. Obviously, he has more demons to contend with.
More demons.
And I know what you're thinking. I dealt with my demons by trying to kill Alex Wheeler.
Well, you don't think there's a chance that Barrett might try to kill anyone?
Well, no. I don't think Barrett is dangerous to anyone except himself.
The way Ginny tells the story, that storm cellar door blew closed in the wind.
Yeah, I know all that, but it just doesn't seem possible. You see, it's a heavy, heavy door.
Yes, it is. Do you have any other ideas as to how it may have closed?
No. No, I don't. Not at the moment.
I went out to look at that door myself.
Oh, you did?
I thought Ginny might not have opened it full out. The storm came up. That wind caught that old thing from underneath and just blew it closed from the angle that she'd left it at.
Yeah, well, you know, I thought about that, but that just doesn't seem right to me.
Jeff, I feel guilty enough about leaving Ginny and having all this happen to her. If you're trying to make me feel worse...
No, I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to figure this thing out, you understand? It's this whole accident, it just seems so strange to me.
Yeah, it does to me, too. I guess all fluke accidents have an unbelievable quality about them.
I guess they do.
But now it's done with, I don't see how talking about it can change anything.
No, but I'll tell you what I am going to change. I'm going to change the latch on that cellar door so that you can open it from the inside as well as the outside.
That's a fine idea.
Yeah. Oh, say, Barrett, I never did ask you. I mean, how did the buying trip go?
Just fine.
Oh, yeah? Good. I mean, did you get some stock for the ranch?
Yes, about 2 nice heifers over at Double L.
Kate had a terrible time locating you. I mean, every ranch that she called, you hadn't been there yet.
Yes, I'm sorry that happened. We haven't done much business with Double L for the past several years, and I suppose that's why she didn't think of calling me there.
Yeah, well, she got real panicky when she couldn't find you, and we all realized that Ginny was missing.
That's my fault for not keeping in touch.
Yeah. For the life of her, though, I mean, she could just not figure out what motel it was that she said you were staying at.
Jim Barnes Inn?
Yeah.
Grandma thought that I said Tin Star Inn. That's a natural enough mistake, I guess.
I guess so.
The accident is over now, Jeff. Why is it still bothering you?
Because Ginny is my sister, and I love her. And this whole thing was just too close for comfort.
Yes, it was. But she is safe and sound now. Let's be grateful for that.
Are you two talking about me?
We are, my love.
I have an idea. How about having a picnic lunch out in the yard?
Oh, I'm for that.
Jeb?
Sure, yeah.
Good. Then it's unanimous.
Now, unless you've got any more questions for me, I gotta walk up and meet Max.
No, I have no more questions.
Oh, good. Bye-bye.
What questions was Barrett talking about?
No. What do you mean you're not going to do it, Elena? This is the big time. We got a whole TV crew from KVIK is going to be there just to catch your act, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah, but you should have asked me.
I'm your manager. I don't have to ask anything.
Okay,
I'm the one who calls the shots.
Easy.
Look, Billy Joe, you can have all the film people you want at the chicken coop tonight, but they're not filming me.
What kind of talk is that?
Look, I get nervous just singing in front of the people that come into the coop, but knowing that those TV people are going to be there and standing up in front of them, knowing I'm going to be seen all over Houston, I can't do it.
Honey, those cameras are going to be way in the back of the place. You can just pretend like they're not even there.
No, Billy Joe, I'm not singing tonight. That is that.
Elena, do you know how many performers would give their eye teeth for a TV spot like this, huh? I mean, just think of the publicity. It's great publicity.
Billy Joe, wait a minute. Elena is really upset. She needs time to rest.
Oh, she can rest all day.
Couldn't you get those TV people to come and see her some other night, huh?
Nita, you can't tell a big TV station when to come and when to go.
Maggie.
I admit it, I was eavesdropping.
This is the chance of a lifetime, and your niece is going to blow the whole thing.
Honey, what is the matter?
I can't do it, Aunt Maggie, that's all. I'm scared.
Well, darling, of course, anything new is going to be scary. But, well, I imagine that being seen on TV would be the best thing in the world for your career.
It's a damn good move.
Well, now, Billy Joe, we can talk about this like normal people, but if you're just going to stand there and rant and rave...
Hey, listen, I spent a lot of time trying to set up this whole TV thing.
And nobody asked you to.
You're only going to upset Lena more by raising your voice at her like that.
Honey, you've always said that your singing career was the most important thing in your life, and it looks like to me it is going real good.
Yeah, but Maggie, those people aren't coming because I'm such a good singer. They're only interested in me because I'm headline news. I'm connected to Chris Shaw's murder.
That just ain't so.
Oh?
Well, that ain't the only reason. I mean, those TV people, Lena, they know all about your record. They know it's going to take off real soon, and they know you're starting to get a name around the chicken coop. That's why they want you.
Honey, I think if you don't do this tonight, you're going to always regret it.
Well, I sure never thought I'd see the day when you'd back me up on anything.
Well, I'm just thinking about Elena's career, that's all.
Maggie's right, you know. I mean, a chance like this ain't gonna come up again real soon.
Yeah, but I know that I'm gonna freeze up in front of the cameras.
Well, no, honey. Now, listen, think about it. Suppose you had all familiar faces right there. I mean, I'm going to be there, and Nita's going to be there, and Ricky's going to be there, and you've sung in front of all of us. Now, if you just look right at us and you sing your heart out, do you think you can do that?
I'm not sure. Sure you can. Now, look, I'm going to go call KVIK and find out what time they're going to be there, okay? Thanks, Maggie. Darling.
Vicky, I think we're going to have a problem editing that space footage. Dad!
Hello, son.
I didn't expect to see you back so soon.
It's good to see you.
How'd your trip go?
Well, I've just been over everything with Vicky. If you'll give me a breather, I'll fill you in.
How are you feeling, Dennis?
Better, thanks.
Have you been ill?
Well, I missed work yesterday. But I've already finished 2 stories.
Well, on the road to recovery.
What did you want to tell me when you came in, Dennis?
I think we should add some material to that space film we're using.
Oh, talk to Howard. And you two use your best judgment. Oh, that reminds me, I better check to see if anyone assigned a crew to follow up on the Chris Shaw murder. Elliot, it's good to have you back. And I'll take you up on that lunch soon.
It'll be my pleasure. Chris Shaw was murdered?
Yes.
Thank you.
You know, Justin, this is not a social luncheon.
Whatever you say. What's the problem, Raina?
Max,
What now?
I tried to talk him into the possibility of doing a survey to see if there's any oil in our land.
You went through the roof, huh?
No. We talked, he thought about it, and then he decided that he couldn't go through with it.
The old, I'm a rancher, not an oilman routine, right?
It's not a routine, Justin. He believes every word he says.
Well, Max is straight as an arrow, all right?
Justin.
All right. Listen, Rena, I understand why Max feels the way he does. He was raised that way. So it's up to you to make sure that changes are made.
That's right. It's a perfect solution. Max having his own money.
Maybe I could talk to Max.
I don't think that's a good idea. It would only make matters worse.
Well, I hate the idea of sitting on top of a possible fortune and not knowing how to explore it. Maybe all this conversation is for nothing. Maybe there's nothing down there.
There is.
Well, people think there is.
I know there is. Justin, I found a survey that your father did back in 1952.
Where did you find it?
I can't tell you, so don't ask me again.
Where's the survey now?
It's in my purse, but I didn't think I'd even show it to you because Kate doesn't want to drill. Max doesn't want to have any part of it.
Let's see it, Rena. You're some lady detective. Mrs. Decker.
When was Chris Shaw murdered?
2 days ago.
Who did it?
The police haven't been able to find anyone yet.
A man like that. There must have been many people who would have liked to have seen him dead.
Well, I won't argue with that.
Well, Paige, I suppose the police found the film she made for that man.
Well, if they have, it hasn't been in the papers yet, and it hasn't come through our news service.
If nothing's come out about the film, that means Shaw had it very well hidden. Paige must be going through hell right now, wondering if that film is going to turn up or not.
Look, Dad, I don't want to go over this.
Well, son, it's not that simple. Your wife was involved with a man who is now dead. You can't just walk away from it.
I just don't want to talk about it, that's all.
Dennis, Has something more happened to Paige? Or to you? Something you haven't told me about yet?
Jenny, there's a lot of things about you getting locked up in that storm cellar that just don't add up.
You're making much too much of this accident.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure about that.
I don't know why you're asking Barrett a lot of questions, Jeb. He wasn't even here when the whole thing happened.
Well, that's just what I'm talking about. Nobody knows exactly where he was when it happened.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is he's the one that put the idea in your mind to go down that cellar that's been locked up for ages. Then all of a sudden he disappears.
Jeb, stop it. What you're suggesting is horrible. Barrett went to Laredo to buy stock. While he was gone, I had an accident. And that's all that happened.
Jenny, I wouldn't do anything to upset you.
Then stop all this talk.
Wait a minute, come on. It's just that I'm worried about you.
There's no need to be, not any longer. Barrett came back from his trip a very different man. Last night, we had what could have been a real crisis.
Because he came back, he found Ryan here.
Yes. And Barrett was wonderful about it. And we'll all be fine now. As long as you stop asking all these questions and causing us problems.
Wait, no, listen, I wouldn't do anything to cause any problems.
Thank you. Neither of us liked the way Barrett was acting towards Steve and me lately. I know that's all over. I'm sure of it, Jeb. I know Barrett would never do anything to harm me or the baby. And you have no reason to think that he had anything to do with this accident. So promise me that you'll get all these crazy ideas out of your head this minute, okay?
Just relax there, darling. Those guys will be here to rehearse in a half hour or so. What you're going to do is rehearse, then rest, then you'll be wonderful and beautiful for tonight for all those TV cameras.
Sure.
Well, listen, when Andy gets here, I want you to come out back and get me, all right?
Oh. What is happening to me, Bernie Bear? I feel like I'm about to explode. If only Bernie were here to give me some of those pills. I need them really bad. Just one to get through tonight. Without it, I don't see how I'm gonna make it.
I think you're gonna make it.
Lovely lunch. Would you like to have some coffee, Jess? Hello? Would you like to have some coffee? I think that means 2 coffees. Thank you. I should have waited until after lunch before I showed you that survey.
What?
You haven't said 2 words to me.
I'm sorry, Rena, does Max know about this?
No. I was going to show it to him, but he was against the whole idea so much that I ended up not even telling him about it.
Well, it's just as well.
Is there oil there?
The geologists think there is. Of course, you never really know until you drill first. You could come up with a 0 or you could strike it rich, but with this, the odds are in your favor. Look. This is Max's place. This is the north pasture, this is the west pasture. All of this is possible.
It's over there.
That's Harper's place. Here's the boundary line between Harper's and Max's place.
Justin, Junior Harper was home for Easter. He was trying to sell his daddy's land. If there's oil there, then...
Rena, there is nothing in this survey that says that there's oil on the Harper place.
Thank you. Oh, no.
Right.
Put that away.
What?
Put that away now.
What is it?
Hello, Mama. Hello, Rena. Justin.
Well, Vicky. What a surprise.
Yes, I'm sure.
What are you doing here, Mama?
I'm meeting your father for lunch.
Well, until Stryker comes, why don't you join us, Vicky?
I believe I will. Thank you.
I haven't seen you in a long time, Vicky. How are you doing at KVIK without me?
Just fine. And what's the occasion that brings you 2 together?
Nothing special, actually.
I ran into Justin in the elevator. I was on my way to see Daddy, and Justin invited me out for lunch.
There's nothing wrong with having an innocent lunch. The friend is there, Vicky?
Nothing you do is innocent, Justin.
Mama.
No. It's all right. I'm used to it. My only disappointment, Vicky, is seeing you and knowing that everything is doing just fine without me at KVIK. It's always nice to be missed, I always think.
Well, we've had some letters from viewers asking when you're coming back, but I've told them that you're very happy in your new job with no plans to return.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Vicky. Things are pretty terrific for me over at World Oil right now.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the fact that I have a meeting in about 15 minutes and I have to get back. See ya.
You know, I gotta get going, too.
Rena, stay and say hello to your father. He'll be along in a few minutes.
Yes, you two ladies have a very nice lunch. Say hello to Stryker for me, will you, Vicky? Thank you, Rena, for joining me for lunch. I'll take care of the bill at the front. Bye, Vicky.
Well, let's see now. Where's our waiter?
I'd like to know what's going on between you and Justin.
Just having lunch in a public place, Mama. Now, what in the world could be going on?
Nothing's happened to me or to Paige, Dad.
Have you seen her since I left?
Yeah, she came by the apartment while I was still packing. But nothing's changed between us, if that's what you wanted to know.
Well, it was. What hotel are you staying at now?
I'm not. I'm staying in the apartment.
Well, where's Paige?
Alex Wheeler's letting you use his suite at the World Oil Building.
Well, that was kind of him.
Well, that's the way she wanted it, Dad, so I stayed in the apartment.
Do you mean you haven't even spoken to her since Shaw was murdered?
No.
Well, Dennis...
No, Paige and I are separated. Shaw's murder doesn't change that.
Separated or not, I know that you still care a great deal for Paige.
I don't care for her, Dad. I love her. I love her, damn it, and it's driving me crazy, but I can't forget what she's done.
Dennis, is what she did so terrible?
Dad, it's not the film. It's the deceit. It's the lack of trust in me, in our marriage, and everything else. Look, I don't want to go over this anymore. We've already gone over it before.
Lies and secrets. They always breed trouble. But we all lie at some times in our lives, sometimes to protect ourselves, sometimes to protect the ones we love. Dennis, Paige has suffered enough. Talk to her, son. She must need you a great deal right now.
What you're saying is true, Dad. I know that. But I can't talk to Paige. Not now.
Ricky, how long have you been standing there?
I just walked in. Why?
You scared me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I'm just on edge, that's all.
Oh, you should be, with good reason. I hear you're going to be on TV tonight.
Who told you?
Aunt Maggie, she's your #1 cheering squad. You know that, don't you? She's even closing up her restaurant tonight so that she and Nita and everybody can come to see you.
Oh. I wish nobody was coming tonight.
Oh, you don't mean that.
Oh, yes, I do.
Hey, what's wrong?
Everything. Ricky, I am so nervous. I feel like I'm falling apart.
Because of the police investigation?
Yeah, that's got me jumpy. It's that. It's a lot of things.
Did the police question you any more today?
No. Ricky, do the police think that I'm telling them the truth, or do they think that I could have...
That you killed Chris Shaw? Come on, whatever gave you a crazy idea like that?
Ricky, first I found Bernie, and then I found Chris.
Honey, Donovan doesn't think that you killed Chris.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure that he believes me.
This has been a lot rougher on you than I thought.
It's the murder, and it's Bernie, and it's a lot of things, like I told you.
Oh, you poor kid.
I'll be okay. I got good old Bernie Bear here for luck and courage.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Elena, did You know that night that Bernie gave you the lucky bear, and he talked to you about his life so much, did he say anything to you that might have connected his murder with Shaw's?
What do you mean?
Well, Donovan thinks that Chris Shaw is dealing drugs.
Oh.
Now, you and Billy Joe told me that you saw Bernie flashing $20,000 in cash around. I was just wondering if...
No, Ricky, you're way off. Now, Bernie never said anything to me about Chris or about anything.
Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing. I have to warm up before my rehearsal, that's all.
Okay. So I guess I'll leave you to it then. I'll see you tonight.
Right.
Elliot.
Hello. All right if I come in?
Yes, of course. The guard called and said you were on your way up, but when did you get back?
I flew in this morning. They told me at the top of the World Club that you'd taken the evening off.
Yeah.
You feeling all right?
Yeah, a little tired. How did everything go in Washington?
All right.
How did you know I was here?
Dennis told me. I saw him this morning at KVIK.
Oh. Then you know about Chris Shaw being murdered.
Yes.
It's very unexpected, Elliot, but I really can't say that I'm sorry.
Well, are you all right here?
Sure, lonely a lot of the time, though. I tried to call Dennis at the apartment, but he won't answer the apartment phone, and, KVIK said that he wouldn't be in today.
Well, apparently Dennis was ill yesterday.
He's all right.
You'd like to see him, wouldn't you?
Very much. But it doesn't matter what I want, does it?
Well, I don't think that's true.
Oh, Elliot. I have hurt him so badly. He'll never be able to forgive me, let alone want to see me again.
He'll forgive you, Paige.
You really think so?
He still loves you.
Really?
Yes. He told me he does.
Oh, Elliot.
I hope the two of you can work this out, even though it may take some time.
I just hope we have the time. Iris came to see me yesterday.
Well, Billy Joe, you got a right good crowd here.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Maggie only called everybody in town.
Hey, how's Elena doing?
Oh, she's just got the usual creative artist anxiety, but she's gonna be fine.
Yeah, well, never mind the creative anxiety. I saw her earlier today. She's a nervous wreck.
No, she's gonna be fine, I told you. You know, just get a little confidence in her.
No wonder she's nervous. I got butterflies myself.
Me too. Look at that TV equipment.
I tell you, nobody's got anything to be nervous about. Now, Elena's approach is gonna get right up there and start singing like it was a breeze.
I hope she sings that song she put on the demo. It's all over town. 'Cause it's all over town. Oh, I love those words.
Too, you know. I wish Jeb was going to be here to hear Elaine. I bet that would cheer him up. He has been so down ever since Courtney gave that engagement ring back.
Hey, here she goes now. Come on, darling. She's gonna be fine. Just give her a chance here. Give her a chance. It's fine. Everything's fine here. Just give her time here. Just... No. Come on, darling. Give her a chance. Just give her a chance. She's gonna be fine.
I can't!
I get the feeling that Jeb must have said something to annoy you this afternoon.
I couldn't figure why he was after me with questions, that's all. It was almost like he blamed me for your accident.
Oh, honey, I don't think so.
Well, I hope I'm wrong, but I got the feeling that he was implying as much.
Jeb's just very overprotective of me. He just can't seem to figure out how that accident happened.
Still, he ought to know that I'd never harm you. I love you too much. And now with the baby on the way.
I'm sure Jeb realizes that. I certainly do. I hope that Jeb won't be questioning you anymore.
I hope not. Because it's an awful thing to think of someone. Especially since I can account for my whereabouts the whole time that I was away from here.
Yeah, hello. This is Jim Borin. Listen, my brother-in-law stayed there the other night, and he left a briefcase there. It had some very important papers in it. I wonder if you could check and see if it's there. Yeah, his name is Barrett Marshall. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. Okay, it can wait till tomorrow. My name is Jeb Hampton.
Hold on a second. I don't know. What's not right?
She wasn't acting right today. I understand.
It's on. Just give her a
Well,
chance.
do something, honey.
All
do
right, I don't know what I
something.
can do.
Let me, Billy Joe. Let me take. Hey, guys, how about slow dancing under the stars?
You got it.
Honey, you look beautiful. Okay? There's all your friends out there. There's Maggie, Billy Joe, and you. Come on, baby. Hey, do it. I love you. Okay?
I'd like to express this deep happiness that comes over me when you're near. I feel light and breezy, my hardships seem easy, and I know I have nothing to fear. How can I lead you to see what your loving has meant to me?
Iris doesn't give up, does she? What did she want this time?
Oh, the same thing she always wants. Get me out of Houston. She assured me that Dennis and I would never get back together again. She said she'd see to it, Elliot.
She's unbelievable. Paige, if you want me to...
No, there's nothing I want you to do. Thank you. I think this is something I have to do myself.
Well, you may not be able to. It may soon be completely out of your hands.
What do you mean?
Well, because of the film Chris Shaw was blackmailing Iris with. If the police didn't find the film in Shaw's office, and from what Dennis said, they didn't.
No, they didn't. At least there was nothing said about it.
Well, all right, the film will turn up. And whoever has it may very well make it public or try to blackmail you with it, just as Shaw was doing.
Elliot, please, don't do this.
I just want you to realize that you can't handle these things alone anymore. You must accept help.
I will. I promise, if there's any more trouble with the film, but maybe there won't be.
Well, don't count on it.
Iris feels that the police have the film in their possession, that they're just holding on to it, waiting for the right moment to use it.
Use it? How?
To implicate me in Chris's murder.
Well, if that were so, you would have heard about it by now, believe me. They'd have nothing to gain by holding back evidence and waiting.
That's what I thought. That was Iris's idea.
Look, I think if I were you, I would refuse to see Iris for a while, for my own peace of mind.
I just may do that.
And remember, if you need me, I'll help any way I can. Look, I have some friends at the police department. I'll call, make a few inquiries
No.
about any photographs of film they might have found.
No, Elliot, please
Now,
don't
look,
do
your
that. It'll
name
only
will
make
not
the-
come into it. I'll be very careful. All right? You're not alone in this. I'm here to help. And I'm only as far away as that phone. All right?
Thank you.
Bye.
This film.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
No, I don't. I don't think you're acting like a child at all. It's okay. Come on. I'm here with you.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Alfredo, I'm very sorry to bother you at home. I was wondering if it was possible if you could go into work early today. I have some very important things that I have to take care of, and I completely forgot that the linen man was coming in this morning. Thank you. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'll see you as soon as I get there. Okay. Most important thing I have to do is get rid of endless passion. How? Burn it? Run down to Galveston and throw it in the... Just a minute.
answered enough of your questions.
I've got just one more to ask.
Morning, Alex. I really don't have much time this morning, Justin.
Of course.
Just the point.
Of course, all I want to know, Alex, is whether you've ever seen this.
Lena, did you just clean that sink a while ago?
Did I?
Hey, come on, what's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Hey, you look kind of tired, you know?
Yeah, well, you'd look tired, too, if you hadn't slept all
All
night.
right, Don, calm down. I'm on your side here. I just want to know why you're having a hard time getting to sleep, huh?
You're acting like nothing's happened, Billy Joe.
What are you talking about?
Talking about last night. All of my friends, family at the coop, even a TV crew, all waiting to hear me perform. And what do? I fall to pieces.
It wasn't all that bad, darling. I mean, once Ricky got up with you, you sang just fine. You're like a bird.
I ain't falling apart, Billy Joe.
No, you are not. Now, don't say that again, Elaine, okay? It's just the butterflies.
Now, butterflies are not causing me to have these dreams, Billy Joe. I'm having terrible dreams.
Well, of course you are. Of course you're having terrible dreams. I mean, finding 2 dead bodies is enough to give anybody bad dreams, darling.
No, and I'm scared. I'm scared all the time. I jump at noises. I jump at shadows.
What are you so scared about?
I don't know. I'm just scared.
Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Are you afraid the police might think you're a suspect, huh?
They might.
Well, you're just plain crazy if you believe that, darling. I mean, they can't suspect you just because you're the first one to find Chris and Bernie.
No, it's something more than that, Billy Joe. Something that you don't know. Something that might connect me to Chris and Bernie.
What's that?
Bernie gave me something.
What sort of something?
He gave me some pills.
What? Well, what pills?
He gave me some tranquilizers because I was so nervous about doing the demo.
Are you crazy, huh? Well, what'd you do with them?
Took them. But Billy Joe, I found Bernie dead, and I was such a nervous wreck. I needed them to calm me down.
So that's why you're so calm all of a sudden at that recording studio, huh? How could you do something like that, huh? A stupid thing like that.
Bernie told me they were mild.
It was still a dumb idea.
Billy Joe, I didn't know that Bernie was going to be murdered.
Darling, Bernie was into drugs. He was dealing drugs. He was dealing for somebody, and he wanted to try to cut himself in for a bigger part of the action. That's why he had that $20,000.
How do you know?
Because he wanted me to go in with him, but I told him I didn't want anything to do with it. What'd you do with the rest of them?
They're gone.
You threw them away.
I took the last one a couple of days ago.
All right, well, at least you're not addicted or you're not hooked or anything like that. And as long as they're gone, then there's no way you can be connected with them.
Wait, Billy Joe, there's more. Chris found out about those pills. That's why I was in his office that night. See, I was jumping in and he told me that I could find more pills in his office.
Well, no wonder you're just about to jump out of your skin like that.
Billy Joe, don't you see why I'm so scared? I am afraid that the police will know that that's the reason that I went into Chris's office.
Well, now, wait a minute here. How could they find out something like this?
I don't know. Maybe Chris had a list of people that he gave drugs to or something. I don't know.
Fine, that's all we need now.
What are we gonna do?
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna get us some protection here.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna get you a lawyer. Somebody who knows about things like this. Somebody like Stryker Bellman.
I hope you can make this quick, Detective. I have a lot of work to do today.
I'll get right to the point.
Good.
We've just got a rundown on some of Chris Shaw's former associates before he came to Houston. And we turned up a very interesting thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah? It seems you knew Chris rather well.
Look, Detective, I told you the morning that you came here after Chris was murdered that we were acquaintances. I never kept that a secret from you.
Yeah, but it seems that you were more than just acquainted. Which made me wonder why you didn't give us this information after Bernie Stokes was murdered.
You never asked. If you'd have asked, I would have told you that.
You know, you told me at that time that you were going to meet with Chris for business reasons.
Yes, that's right.
But you never did say what business.
I don't think that's any of your concern, Detective.
May I remind you, Mrs. Carrington, that this is a murder investigation? Now, if you don't want to answer my questions here, I can have you come on down to the station house.
Yes, well, I have already been down to your little station house.
Well, I'll have you down there again. I'll have you down there just as many times as I have to finish up this investigation.
Yes, and how long do you think that will take?
When we find out who murdered Chris Shaw and Bernie Stokes, that's how long it'll take. Look, Mrs. Carrington, I'm not here for my health or because I enjoy your company. I'm here because I have a job to do, and you are making that job very difficult.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry.
Are you?
Look, Detective, I'm not enjoying this any more than you are.
All I'm asking for is a simple answer to a simple question. What business did you have with Chris Shaw?
He was trying to put a movie together. He fancied himself a producer.
And you were his partner in this venture?
No, he wanted me to appear in the film.
As an actress?
Yes.
Had you ever worked on a film for Shaw before?
I beg your pardon?
Out on the coast?
No, I had never worked for Chris before.
Well, then why would he come to you?
Because when I met Chris in Hollywood, I was trying to break into films.
Oh, then what you had with Shaw was a business relationship.
Look, detective, Chris was one of many would-be producers that I met in Hollywood. And I was starting out, and I was looking for work, and I ran into him. And I never really liked the man. No, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but I can't think of one redeeming quality. Unless you think that disliking someone is a motive for murder.
I have to know what this is all about. You see, sometimes a motive in a crime of this nature can be very well disguised.
Your father was telling me about a survey that he was going to have done on his land years ago, but I assumed that Kate changed his mind about it.
Yeah, well, Grandma was always dead set against this sort of thing, but I guess Dad just went right ahead with it.
Where'd you find this?
Well, I found it in a stack of Dad's personal papers. Alex, this looks very, very favorable to me.
It doesn't matter if it's favorable. Now, Kate didn't want any drilling on her land, and that's it.
I know what Grandma said.
Now, that is it. Now, I mean it, Justin. Now, I'm not going to have Kate upset about this.
Alex, if you'll just take a look at this survey again, the potential sites are not even on Marshall land.
They're not?
No, they're on the parcel that belongs to Max Decker.
Well, what I know of Max, he'll be against any exploration, too, just like your grandmother was.
Yes. So far, he is against it.
So far? You mean you've already talked to him about this?
In a way, but I have not accepted his response as final. I wanted your permission, Alex, to go ahead on this.
Now, I don't mind you pursuing this as long as it doesn't antagonize anyone, okay?
Thank you very much, Alex.
Well, looks like you had a good meeting with the boss.
Well, now all I need is a good meeting with a certain rancher. May I use your phone?
Not until you tell me what you have for me.
Oh, I almost forgot. Yes. Something to make up for the little luncheon that I missed.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have. What is it?
Open it and see.
How'd you know? Just what I always wanted.
Miniature tape recorder. Small enough to conceal in pocket or purse.
Oh, wonderful. Well, what am I supposed to do with it?
Oh, I'm sure a smart girl like you can think of something.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, honey.
Expecting Mother?
No, what do you have?
Seems like every time I want to have a private conversation with you, Mother shows up.
I wish you'd work out a better relationship with your mother.
I'll do that later, Daddy. Right now, I'm concerned about my marriage. You're the only one who can help.
All right, honey. Come on over here and sit down. Now, is the problem because you've asked Max again about test drilling for oil on his land?
Daddy, every time I brought up the subject, he had a fit, and so I had to drop it. I mean, he thinks that if he allows one oil rig on his precious property, that all of Texas will go to hell. Daddy, that's not funny.
No, I'm sorry, honey, but most cattlemen feel that way about their land, and I can understand it. I remember the old days looking out over Texas and seeing nothing but cattle and grazing land.
That was years ago.
Yeah, but it was a wonderful feeling. And I can see why Max doesn't want to give it up. I know what it means to him.
Let me see if I've got this straight. Are you saying that you agree with Max now?
I'm also saying I know what a couple oil wells will mean to you.
Daddy, it's not the cattle, it's not the wells that mean anything to me. It's Max and our life together. He's just got to have his own money if we're ever going to be happy.
You can't expect him to give up ranching.
No, but he can compromise. He's got an awful lot of land out there, Daddy. It doesn't all have to be used for ranching. I swear, Daddy, I'm not trying to change him. I just want us to be happy.
I believe you, honey.
Oh, I love you, Daddy. You're the only one who can talk some sense into him. He likes you. He respects you. You went into the oil business and you stayed a gentleman. You didn't sell your soul to the devil. You're a real man, Daddy.
Well, I never thought of it that way. I just thought of building a good future, good life.
Will you please talk to Max? Try to make him understand. It's the only chance I've got, Daddy.
All right, honey. Why don't you invite your mother and I out to supper?
I can't do that because Mother will take Max aside and then you won't be able to do anything with him. You've got to see him by yourself.
All right, I'll clear up some work here at the office and drive out and talk to her.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I thank you for your time.
Yeah, glad I could be of help.
Oh, and Mrs. Carrington.
Yeah?
If you can recall anything else about Mr. Shaw, concerning his life in Houston or in Hollywood, would you get in touch with me?
Certainly, Detective. Good day.
Where's the film?
Right in here. I'm protecting it for you, Dennis. Of course, it won't win an Academy Award or anything like that, but I still think it's worth quite a... Not so fast, Leroy.
You give it to me.
When you paid for it.
I'm warning you.
You take your hands off of me.
Not till I get what I want.
Very bad idea to make me mad, Dennis. Now, why don't you just get out of here while you can still stagger?
Okay. No! I'll kill you. I swear. You're making one big mistake. I want that film. I want that film. Damn it! Was I that drunk? I killed a man. Why can't I remember? Why?
Come on in, you two. Make yourself comfortable. Sit down. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, it's about this guy, Chris Shaw. Maybe you read about him being murdered.
Yeah, I read in the newspaper. That's about all.
I'm the one that found the body, Mr. Billman.
Must have been quite a shock for you.
Yeah, and what's worse, you even found the body of the guy who worked for Chris, Bernie Stokes.
Oh, yeah, Bernie Stokes. I remember his murder. I even talked to the DA about it.
You did?
Yeah, my daughter, Rena, wanted me to check on it for you, Elena.
For me?
Yes. She was worried about it and wanted me to check it out.
Well, what'd you find out?
Well, nothing. Elena was in the clear, and she wasn't even considered a suspect.
That is good news, Mr. Bellman.
Yeah, but that was before she found the other body.
Now, I know that in geometry they say that it takes 2 points to make a straight line. But just because you find 2 bodies doesn't make you a murderer.
Yeah, but it's not just because she found the 2 bodies. She,
What?
Well, it was no secret that none of us who worked at the coop really cared much for Mr. Shaw. I know it's a terrible thing to say about somebody, but it's true.
I wouldn't worry about not being kind to the dead. From what I read in the newspapers, he wouldn't have won any popularity contest.
Yeah, that's the truth, all right. What I was really wondering was, though, if Elena, well, if she was to become a suspect or anything like that, do you think you could handle her case, Mr. Bellman?
Well, I'm licensed to practice law in the state of Texas, and I don't see any reason why I couldn't handle Elena's case.
Well, we'd really appreciate that.
I think you two are putting the cart before the horse. I don't think you have anything to worry about. In all probability, the police will find the real murderer soon.
Help you?
What the hell are you doing here, Justin?
Came out here to talk to you, Max.
Not about for drilling for oil on my property, I hope.
Oh, can't we just talk about it, Max?
I told Rena no, and now I'm telling you no, and that's that. You'd have a better chance of asking your grandmother to drill.
My grandmother's not trying to save her marriage, Max.
What the hell you mean by that?
Well, don't you think if you had your own money, it would be the perfect solution to the problems you and Rena are having?
I don't need you to give me advice on how to make my marriage work, and where the hell do you get off telling me about my private life?
Have you ever considered how happy that would make Rena if she had a nice little house and spend that money anytime she wanted to?
Rena's got enough money to buy whatever she wants.
Yeah, but you won't give it to her, will you, Max?
Now, that's none of your damn business. Now, you don't care about Rena or me. The only person you're concerned with is yourself, and you know it.
All right. All right, enough of the personal approach. I'll just stick to business.
I told you we don't have any business to discuss.
Max, this cattleman versus oilman mentality is way behind the times. There's no reason why the two can't live together side by side. It's happening in the Southwest all the time.
Well, that doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean it's going to happen here.
Max, do you remember Sonny Franklin's daddy? He was a rancher. And then one day they discovered oil on his place.
Yeah, I remember that, Justin. I remember that because I was here while you were off in your little bitty race cars, driving. I remember the gusher when it came in, and they had a party for 3 days. At the end of the 3rd day, the well went dry. But Mr. Franklin, he was a greedy sort, so he drilled a 2nd well, and then a 3rd well. And none of them produced a drop. And pretty soon, this place was just a forest of oil wells around here, just crowding out the cattle and ruining the grass.
They got their oil, didn't they?
Now, you better check your facts a little more closely, Justin. Yeah. They get some oil, a few barrels, maybe, if they're lucky. Just enough to scratch along, but they can't look another rancher in the eye.
You hold on.
No, you hold on, Justin. There's going to be no oil drilling for me. No wells, no way, and that's the last word.
Because we're able to reroute the sea serving to Boston, we've got all of our tankers in operation right now, except the 2 that are still in dry dock for repairs.
Well, that sounds excellent.
Those 2 should be back in service in about a week. So, is there anything else?
Are you all right, Ryan?
Sure, I'm fine.
What's wrong?
I had a run-in with Barrett.
When was this?
He came back to the ranch while I was still there after Ginny was found.
What happened?
Well, he kicked me off the property.
Well, didn't you explain why you were there?
Oh, I tried, but it didn't do very much good. You see, he was very intent on my leaving. That's not what bothers me. I'm afraid that Barrett's going to take out his anger on Ginny and little Steve.
What makes you think he'd do that?
Well, it seems his behavior's been very erratic lately. He's been getting upset at Ginny and Steve for no apparent reason. That worries me. What makes it even worse, I just don't know what to do about it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex. I shouldn't bring my personal problems into the office, should I?
Forget it. I did the same thing today.
What's wrong?
Iris, she's been acting very strange. She didn't even come down to breakfast. She didn't even tell me goodbye. And I've been trying to call her every half hour, and I still haven't talked to her.
Well, buddy, if that's the way you want it, that's the way I want it. Sad to see you turn down the chance of a lifetime. But it is your ranch. You just keep those cattle grazing. Hello, Rena. I just came out here trying to prove my powers of persuasion. But it seems that Max here, boy, when he makes up his mind, he makes it up good. Wouldn't be too proud of that characteristic, Max. Mules have it, too.
Max, I had nothing to do with Justin coming out here, so don't you start blaming me.
Seems to me you two have been in pretty close contact. You got the same line.
The same line?
Yeah, how to make Max Decker an oil man instead of a rancher.
I told him that you weren't interested in having oil rigs on your property.
And what else did you tell him?
Well, I don't remember every word of the conversation. Who can?
You did tell him that you wanted a big house and all sorts of other nice things.
As a matter of fact, I didn't. But my wanting a nice house is no big secret. Everyone in Texas knows that.
Well, you got no right discussing our personal business with Justin.
What I discuss with Justin is not personal business.
I don't want you discussing anything with Justin.
Max, you're being ridiculous. There's no reason in the world for you to be jealous of Justin.
I'm not jealous of Justin. I just believe you should keep family arguments in a family.
He came to me about the possibility of drilling for oil. I told him I would talk to you about it. I did, and I gave him your answer. Now, what's so terrible about that?
Justin is up to something.
Yes. He's trying to find oil for Alex Wheeler. So he can make some money, and so you can make some money, too.
I don't think it's that simple.
Why?
Because Justin gave up too easily.
He was probably tired standing here arguing with you, Max. So am I.
Dennis, are you there?
I'm here. Paige.
So good to hear your voice again. Honey, I have been trying to get a hold of you. Are you all right?
I'm just fine.
Why aren't you at work today?
I'm going in later.
I tried calling you at KBIK yesterday, and I left many messages, but you never returned my call.
I know.
Then you got my message.
I got your message.
Dennis, I have to talk to you.
We don't have anything to talk about.
It's important. The last time
I saw you, you were drunk, you were upset,
Oh, come on. What are you talking about, Paige?
Did you go to see Chris the night he was murdered?
Dennis. Dennis! Don't do this to me. Talk to me.
Billy Joe, why didn't you mention to Mr. Bellman about me getting those pills from Bernie?
Because I didn't think it was any of Mr. Bellman's business.
Yeah, but if he's going to defend me, then...
No, we don't know that yet.
Well, then I don't see why we even went there in the first place.
Well, first off, you got to be arrested first before you need somebody to defend you, right? And second of all, the fewer people who know about you taking those little pills, the better.
Billy Joe, I still don't understand the reason why we went to see Mr. Bellman.
Stryker Bellman has connections. I mean, he'd be the first one to know if something was up, and if he didn't know, at least he could find out. You heard what he said about talking to the DA?
That's why we went. To find out what the police suspected.
Well, that's not the only reason. Besides, it should make you feel real good to know that you got a big heavyweight lawyer like that on your side, you know, just in case.
Ray.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hi, Jeff.
How you doing there, buddy?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
That's good, that's good.
So you're a celebrity. You were on the 11 o'clock news last night, huh?
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Ricky told me about it, but he said that you were terrific.
Well, then you didn't hear the truth.
Well, what happened? What do you mean?
I got so nervous that I almost ran off the stage. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get through all that singing at all unless Ricky came up there with me. Just glad that KVIK edited that part out of the tape.
You gotta forgive Elaine. She's just a little upset, that's all.
Yeah, hey, listen, come on. I don't blame them. They did a real lousy job on you in the paper this morning.
What do you mean, a lousy job?
Oh, guess you didn't see the paper this morning.
I didn't show them to Elena.
What is he talking about?
Now, darling, I don't want you to go flying off the handle, all right? Come on.
Billy Joe, did you read this?
Yeah.
They think that I murdered Chris.
Howdy, Max. Want to take a break and have a beer with your father-in-law? You seem to be working up quite a sweat there. Working off in anger?
Yeah, I am.
Is that directed toward my daughter?
Part of it, yes.
You want to talk to me about it, or shall I mind my own business?
Did Rena send you down here to change my mind about drilling?
Tell you the truth, I told her I'd talk to you.
Oh, you can save your breath.
Well, I didn't tell her I'd try to change her mind. I just said I'd explain a few things.
Like what?
Come on, Max, sit down, have a beer. You know, when I first married Vicky, I didn't have any money. It took me 3 months just to pay for the engagement ring.
I had to do the same thing, trying to work overtime.
Vicky's parents were quite wealthy. They owned the newspaper, and Vicky had money of her own from the station she owned.
So how did you fit into all that?
With a great deal of difficulty. It took me a long while to adjust to her lifestyle. I resented her having money, and I resented not having money myself. As far as I was concerned, I'd been happy to go back to the ranch and raise cattle and horses, but I knew that Vicky wouldn't settle for that.
So that's when you went into the oil business.
Just long enough to make money. Then I went back to being a lawyer full-time, which is the only thing I love more than ranching.
Well, ranching's the only thing I love to do.
I know, Max. But a couple of oil wells got Vicky and me what we wanted. I know it might not be a solution for you, but it's something worth considering.
Now, you just calm down, all right, darling?
What are we going to do?
We're not going to do anything. I mean, that article didn't say that you were responsible for Chris's murder.
Well, they practically do.
But they don't. I mean, all that article says that you were associated with Chris.
Well, they imply something else.
Everybody knows that's the way newspapers are. I mean, they love to exaggerate things. That's why they sell more copies.
He's right, Elena. I mean, it was a sleazy piece of journalism. Now, come on, they didn't accuse you of anything.
What are the people who read that going to think?
People are going to think what they want to think, no matter what.
This is real terrific for my career, too.
Elena, I am sorry, all right? Now, I would never have shown you that.
But I would have found out about it sooner or later.
Listen, when you become a big star, like I know you're gonna have to get used to the media taking cheap shots at you like that.
That's right, darling. I mean, sure, you gotta let it roll over you like water off a duck's back. Sure, that's what all those big movie stars learn to do.
Billy Joe, we have to go back and see Stryker Bellman right away.
Hey, now, wait, take it easy here, darling.
What do you mean, go back and see Stryker Bellman?
Ryan, why don't you go home and get some rest and take it easy? You've already worked a full day anyway.
No, I better keep busy. If I go home, I'm just going to be worrying about Ginny all the time. Look, I have a meeting with Woodruff up in Publicity if you need me, all right?
Hmm?
That's a Marshall Ranch, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's Max Decker's parcel.
Yes. Justin's going to see if he can convince Max to drill. This could be the beginning of something we've always wanted around here. To produce and to ship our own oil instead of relying on Middy's products.
Well, from what I've heard of Max, that's going to be a pretty hopeless crusade.
Well, I implied that to Justin, but he seems to want to give it a try.
He's not going to try the same way he did with Kate Marshall now, is he?
No. I warned him about those kind of business tactics.
Look, since the prospective well is so near the Harper Ranch, why don't you approach them instead?
Well, we did that once, quite a few years ago. But there doesn't seem to be any oil on the Harper Ranch. But now, this rich land here at the end is between the boundaries of the Harper Ranch and Max's.
Too bad it's not the other way around for their sake and for ours, huh?
Well, anyway, maybe Justin can accomplish something.
Alex, do you really think Justin can?
I don't know. He's a tough cookie.
Yeah. Maybe he's too tough.
Well, Elena's been so upset this past week about the police and everybody being so suspicious about, well, her finding Chris and Bernie that I figured it might just calm her down a little bit if she went to see a lawyer.
Listen, I used to know a little bit about the law, and you don't need a lawyer unless you're arrested.
I know that, and you know that, but try telling Elena that. You know how she is when she sets her mind on something.
Hey, Elena.
What?
I know you're upset about the paper this morning. It upsets me, too.
I did not kill Chris.
Elena, nobody said you did. Nobody that matters anyway, you know. Me or Billy Joe or Maggie or Ricky.
Yeah, but the papers...
Forget about the papers. The papers do not matter. What matters is the police. The police know that you have no motive, therefore there is no case. You had no business with a guy, right? You just worked for him, that's all.
Right. Billy Joe, I think I'm going to go over to the trailer and rest.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me walk you over there, okay?
You don't have to do that.
I want to do that. Unless you want to be alone, then I understand that, too.
No, to tell you the truth, I'm scared to go over there alone. Have you seen Courtney since she gave you back the ring?
Yeah, a few times. Run into each other, yeah.
Must have been awkward.
It's a little bit.
It must be rough, huh?
Well, you know, it's not like we're not talking to each other or anything like that. We had an argument.
But I thought that Courtney said that...
Hey, Elena, let's talk about something else. You want to?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, do you have to rush back to the ranch?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I got some time.
Well, I
Why?
wanted to come inside. There's some stuff in the fridge, and I'll make us something to eat, okay?
Okay, that sounds terrific. Hey, what happened here? This place looks like somebody hit it with a hurricane or something happened. What?
What did they do to my trailer?
Wait, it looks like some thief or son's looking for money.
Jim!
Don't worry, it's all right.
At least they didn't hurt Ernie Bear. What if I didn't come here by myself?
Elena, you didn't. You're with me. Everything's okay, all right? It's all right.
You must think that I'm acting like a child about this whole...
No, I don't. I don't think you're acting like a child at all. It's okay. Come on. I'm here with you.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Oh, Jeb.
What the? What happened here, man?
You had a visitor. We better call the police.
Hello.
Hello, Justin.
Now, you don't seem too happy to see me, Grandma.
Well, I'm not.
How'd you like to offer me some lunch?
We've already had lunch. I just finished the dishes.
Well, maybe I can get a paper plate. I'll fix myself something.
Justin, what are you up to?
Nothing, Grandma. I just happen to be hungry. Can I have some lunch?
Sure. Just so long as I don't have to keep you company.
I've had a stream of visitors all day. Justin Marshall, your daddy. I expect to see Iris Wheeler next.
I admit to asking Stryker to talk to you, but I did not ask Justin to come out here, so I'm not taking the blame for that one.
All right. Maybe you didn't bring Justin here. I'm sorry.
What did Daddy say to you?
Well, he said a lot of things that made sense.
Does that mean you're changing your mind about letting Justin drill for a test well?
No, I can't let that happen. I won't turn my property into forest oil rigs. But I think I have figured out a way to change our lifestyle. Make our life here on the ranch a little bit better.
When's your next appointment with Courtney?
Next week?
I think we should do some shopping for the new baby.
There's plenty of time for that, Barry.
Must need all sorts of things. We haven't had a baby in 10 years.
Well, you know, I kept all of Steve's old clothes. He hardly wore them because he grew out of them so fast.
When our baby is born, it's going to bind us together so closely that the rest of the world won't matter.
Hello. Hey, old buddy, it's Jim Barr.
Hey, hello, Jim. How are you?
I got a real strange phone call about a briefcase you were supposed to have left here the other day. I thought I'd check it out.
Well, who called?
A fella called Jeb Hampton.
Oh, yes. Well, that was all a misunderstanding. It's all straightened out now.
Well, I'm glad
To hear that, I thought you'd come to Laredo without looking me up. Away with some woman you weren't supposed to be with.
Suppose I was.
I'd cover for you. After all, you did save my life in Vietnam.
Thanks, buddy, but that isn't necessary.
Okay, but next time you're out this way, be sure and call me. I'll buy you dinner.
I'll look forward to it. So long, Jim.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
What are you talking about?
Money. I'm talking about money. But not by destroying the land or the streams.
How?
Well, I'm going to this cattle auction next week.
But I thought we were going
Well,
to...
there's this new breed of cattle I heard about. I'm going to bid on them and see if I can buy some.
What are you planning to use for money?
Well, my savings. You see, these animals, they produce superfine stock, and I know that if I can get a hold of some of them, I can build the Decker Ranch into one of the finest in Texas. I'm sure of it.
And how long do you think it'll take these cattle to start producing?
Not long.
4 years, Max.
1, 2 at the most.
Honey, don't you realize that in 2 months, with one well, you'll have enough money to buy all the cattle in the state? 2 months, Max.
No one is going to drill for oil in my ranch. Now, that is one thing that is not going to change, and you better get used to it.
Sure that.
But there is one thing that is going to change, and that's our social life. I'm going to start taking you into Houston more often. I'm going to take you to the theater. Hell, if you even twist my arm just a little bit, I'm going to get into that brand new tuxedo you bought for me, and we'll go to the ballet. We'll even take Iris and Alex Wheeler with us to the ballet, and then we'll go out and have dinner with them afterwards. What do you say?
I don't know.
Rena, if we love each other enough, we can have it all. We just need to work at it.
You're used to working at things, Max. I'm not. Maybe that's the trouble.
Are you willing to give it a try?
Right. Give up.
Well, what could they have been looking for, man? This is the second time this has happened.
I don't know. Well, look, I better get back to the ranch. I feel kind of guilty about leaving Elena.
No, it's all right. I'll stay here with her. That's what managers are for.
Now, you go on, Jeb. You've got work to do.
Listen, if there's anything I can do for you, let me know, all right?
I will.
Anything at all, okay? I should help you guys clear up in here and clean up, get this place.
No, we just got to wait until the cops get here and take a look at all this before we can start cleaning anything up. See, it's going to be a while, so go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. You gonna be all right?
I'll be fine.
Okay. I'll see you all later then.
What's with you?
Nothing.
Well, I don't get it. This morning you're half hysterical about being arrested. Afraid the cops might find out about Chris giving you a few pills. And now you come in here and you find that some burglar's been in here, turned the place upside down, and you're smiling like a cat in a cream factory. Just don't make any sense to me.
Jeb and Courtney have broken up.
I know about that. Nita told me. I just don't see any... Oh, hey, wait a minute here. You're not planning on starting things up with Jeb again, are you?
You know what your sweet little brother was doing, don't you? He was checking up on me, that's what he was doing. Trying to prove that I'm a liar. That little sneak. He called the hotel in Laredo. Pretended that I left something there. You know why, don't you?
No, I don't.
Because he didn't believe that I was there at all. That's why.
But why would
Because
Jeb
he's
do-
trying to undermine me, and I won't stand for it. Do you hear me? I will not have your brother sneaking around asking questions about me behind my back. If he has any questions, he can damn well ask them of me.
Barry, please.
And that goes for you, too. Understand?
Well, hello again.
Did you have a nice lunch?
A little lonely. It's not bad. Where is everybody?
Minding their own business, I suppose.
Grandma, can we call a truce? I don't want you to be angry with me.
What else can I be? You come out here like the devil himself, trying to tempt us to sell our souls to the great god petroleum. Oil was the worst thing that ever happened to Texas.
It was the best thing, Grandma. Oil made Texas one of the richest states in the Union, and it's going to make me and the Marshall family rich once again.
Won't make you any happier.
Well, I may not be in the oil business very long if I don't make good on my promises to Alex Wheeler.
It's your own fault. Started off on the wrong foot. Should I say the wrong ranch?
I'm beginning to think you're right.
You've never agreed with me on anything. What are you up to, Justin?
Grandma, I'm not going to hassle you about drilling a test well on Marshall land. So stop your worrying.
You didn't drive all the way out here from Houston just to have lunch with me.
No. No, I figured, though I was in the neighborhood, I'd stop by and see how you were.
What are you doing in the neighborhood?
Going to see old man Harper.
What for?
Chances are there's oil on old man Harper's ranch, and that's right next door to Max Decker's. So it would bear some checking out.
You've got any notion of trying to talk to Max about...
Grandma, if there's oil on Harper's land, I don't need Max Decker. What's the matter, Rena?
You seen the paper yet?
No. I was going to read it later. Why?
It's about your sister.
Oh, no. They got her mixed up with that Chris Shaw murder. And they make it sound like she's mixed up in a drug ring or something.
You know how the press is. They always try to
Oh,
make
it's
things
starting to
seem
come
like-
true. I told Elena this would happen, but she wouldn't listen to me. It's beginning to happen.
Max, Elena is not mixed up with drugs. If she were, Ricky would have told you about it. He sees her all the time. He would have known.
Oh, I'm not so sure Ricky would have told me.
Well, you haven't exactly been the most understanding brother in the world lately.
I went into town when that Bernie Stokes was murdered.
I think you should go into town and see her now. I have a feeling she needs you more than ever.
I just wish I knew how I could help her.
Just being there is going to help her. If it'll make you feel better, I'll go with you.
No, I think I better go alone.
While you're gone, I'll go up to the house and see how Jenny is.
Okay.
never had anything going on with Jeb in the first place, so how could I be starting up again?
It's only been a month since you never wanted to see him again. And now you two are acting like long-lost friends.
Well, he helped change my whole life, Billy Joe.
Yeah, I'll say things have changed.
And even you have to admit he wrote me a beautiful song. I'm grateful for that.
What's changed is that you're beginning to make something of yourself. Now Jeb just wants to jump on the bandwagon, darling.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about you. You're going to be a big star, a superstar, and he just wants to be part of that, that's all.
Jeb is not like that.
Most people are like that. All you got to do is go to the movies, read the newspapers, look at the TV set, man. All the stories are filled with people like that. And Jeb's no different, only you're too naive to see it.
Oh, Billy Joe, I don't want to talk about this. You're just being silly.
Silly? You think all of what I've done for you as a manager is silly, too?
I didn't say that, Billy Joe.
I'm going to make you the hottest star that ever came out of Texas, darling. I'm going to do that. And I sure as heck don't want Jeb coming in the last minute and taking everything over.
Look, nobody's taken anything over. Now, you're my manager. I'm not going to change that.
Yeah, well, you sure were hot on Jeb being your manager before.
Well, that was before, and Billy Joe, Jeb isn't even interested in being my manager anymore. Look, you're totally getting upset about nothing.
I'm not upset. It's just that I've invested too much time and energy in you to see all that go down the drain, darling.
Oh, just calm down, and that is not going to happen. But Jeb did write that song on the record, so it's only natural that he'd be interested in it.
And in you.
And I'll tell you another thing. I'm just glad that Jeb was here with me before when we came into this trailer and saw the place turned upside down. If he hadn't been here, I don't know what I would have done. Look, aren't the police ever going to get here?
They sure are, but we better figure out what we're going to do or say to them before they get here.
We? Billy Joe, you don't have to be involved in this.
Elena, I reckon I'm in this about as deep as you are.
You're bound and determined to ruin this part of Texas, aren't you?
Let's not talk about oil, Grandma.
Fine with me. I got things to do upstairs.
Grandma, thanks for the lunch. I'll clean up these dishes before I leave. Would you really hate the idea of my coming out here for supper sometime? Maybe you can invite Max and Rena over.
You're determined to cause trouble, aren't you?
Grandma, I'm just trying to arrange a little family supper.
You were never interested in family suppers, Justin. Or in family anything. Unless you wanted something.
Grandma, I just want to be part of this family again. I realize how much I miss this life out here.
And I realize you're up to no good. And I want to be no part of it.
Grandma.
It's all to do with Max and Rena, isn't it? Especially Rena. You haven't gotten over her, have you, Justin?
Grandma, Rena married Max. I've accepted that. As a matter of fact, I got a very nice girl I'd like to bring out here for you to meet. A really nice girl.
You're not talking about Sam, are you?
No. Sam is a very nice girl, too. But, well, we parted company. As Grandpa used to say, she's working in Austin now.
Who's the new girl?
Ah, curious, aren't you? Why don't we set a date? I'll give her a call.
You can call her, but don't mention anything about supper. I'm going to have to give that some thought.
Well, why don't you report in? Tell them we'll be back to headquarters shortly.
I'm real surprised you came out here yourself, Donovan. I mean, it's just a little burglary here. In fact, you can't even call it a burglary because there really isn't anything missing.
What about you, Elena? You think anything has been stolen?
No, not that I can tell. I guess it wasn't all that serious after all.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
How do you mean? I mean, Elena just told you here nothing's missing.
Yeah, well, sometimes when there's nothing missing, that's when we have to investigate most carefully.
I don't get it.
Well, whoever broke in here was looking for something. You can tell by the way he's gone through everything so thoroughly. And if there's nothing missing, that means he didn't find what he was looking for.
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, he may come back and try again. And when he does, we want to be prepared for him.
Do you think it could have been the same person who broke in here before? Same person who...
Frankly, Miss Decker, the reason why I came down here personally is because I heard you were using this trailer again. And since you were involved with the Chris Shaw matter and Bernie Stokes,
Well, what does one thing have to do with the other?
that's what I intend to find out.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wheeler's office.
How you doing?
Oh, well, hello there, Justin. I'm just fine.
Well, right now I'm out here at the Marshall place, and so while I'm out here, I thought I'd pay a visit to our neighbor, Mr. Harper. He's got the place right next door to Max Decker's.
Oh, will you be back in the office this afternoon?
I should be back in 2 hours or so. Listen, Ashley, I'm going to have an appointment with Alex today.
Oh, let me see now. I think he'll be able to see you. Oh, by the way, I really must thank you for that gift you gave me, Justin.
Do you like it?
Well, now, I'm not real sure that I understand exactly why you gave me such a sweet gift, but it is the cutest, tiniest little tape recorder I ever saw. But I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing with it.
Well, it's not just cute, you know, Ashley. It's very, very powerful. So why don't you test it out? Why don't you put it in your purse and keep it turned on? Have fun with it. It'll record any voice within a 15-foot radius.
Why, Justin, you do have the strangest ideas. But, of course, I'll do whatever you say. I'll see you later.
Ashley, is that letter ready for Alex's signature yet?
Almost.
Mr. Wheeler's decided to leave early today, so make it for my signature instead, all right?
Uh-oh. I just told Justin Marshall that I would arrange an appointment with him with Mr. Wheeler for this afternoon.
If it's something that can't wait, you can tell him he can talk to me today, all right?
Well, he specifically asked for Mr. Wheeler.
Well, I'll just have to do, Ashley. Otherwise, Mr. Marshall can wait until tomorrow.
What in the world is the matter with you?
You and your brother are taking sides against me. That's what's the matter.
That's just not true.
It is true, and I won't stand for it.
I didn't know that Jeb called that hotel. And I don't know why he thought the call was necessary. But I do know that I had nothing to do with it.
You really expect me to believe that?
Yes! I expect you to believe it because it's true.
You know, your brother thinks that I went out of town to have an affair with another woman. You think that, too.
Oh, Barry.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Then you wouldn't have to feel so guilty about Ryan Connor.
Stop talking like that. As far as your having an affair with another woman is concerned, the thought never crossed my mind. It's absurd.
Oh, absurd, is it? I suppose you don't think another woman would find me attractive, is that it?
Barry, I think that you've always been faithful to me and always will be. I've always been faithful to you.
Now, you're being absurd. How can you stand there and tell me that you've always been faithful to me? You were planning to marry another man.
I thought you were dead.
You hoped I was dead.
Barry, please don't start on that again. You were gone for 5 years. We're legally married now. You and I are husband and wife again. I'm trying to do everything I can to make the best of this marriage. But I can't do it alone. You have to help me.
Your brother is the real problem. Every time I turn around, he's there, interfering in our lives. I'm going to put a stop to it once and for all, right now.
Who's there?
Max. Elena, let me in. It looks like someone tore this place apart.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
When?
Sometime today while I was at the coop, Jeb walked me back here and we found this mess.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Did you call the police?
Yeah, Jeb called them. They just left.
Elena, what in the world is going on? What have you gotten yourself mixed up in?
I'm not mixed up in anything, Max.
Well, it sure looks like it to me. I mean, you know two people who've been murdered. One of them found dead right here in the trailer, and now it's been ripped apart.
Yeah, but that's not my fault.
It's your fault for being involved with the wrong people.
I am not involved with the wrong people, Max. I mean, my friends had nothing to do with this. In fact, they're the ones that are helping me through this.
Elena, show business is too rough. I mean, you're not tough enough for it. Can't you see that? Now, why don't you just get out of it? Leave it behind before it destroys you.
Max, I am not in the mood for one of your lectures, okay? And I don't want to answer any more questions. I answered enough questions to the police to last me for the rest of my life.
They're only doing their job.
Well, I told them everything I knew. It wasn't much.
Why don't you just come back to the ranch with me, huh? Settle down, find some nice guy. Or maybe you can just get a nice, respectable job in Houston as a secretary.
Singing is my life, Max.
Well, it's going to be a short one then, honey. I mean, if you don't get out of this right now, while you can before it's too late, there's no telling what will happen to you.
Oh, hey, Barrett. Ginny around.
No, I haven't seen her.
Check upstairs.
Come in for a minute, Jim.
Yeah, what's up?
I got a very strange phone call a little while ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, my friend Jim Barr called from Laredo. I'm sure you recognize the name. He said you called him making some inquiries about me. Now, why don't you just tell me what you're up to?
Yeah, I called that motel down in Laredo.
Why?
Because I was not 100% sure that you were telling the truth about where you were the night she got herself locked down there in that storm cellar.
And just where did you think I was? Meeting a woman somewhere on the sly?
No, I don't believe you'd do that to Ginny.
Oh, you're right. I wouldn't. I love your sister very much. You do know that, don't you?
I know you love her, but Barrett, maybe you just love her too much.
Too much?
Yeah, too much to understand that. See, it's a very difficult time in her life right now.
Because she's married to a man that she doesn't love.
No, wait a minute. I didn't say that.
Oh, well, because she's forced to live with a husband that she despises?
Ginny does not despise you.
Well, then what's wrong with her? Go on, tell me. Why are things so difficult for her?
Barrett, listen, I'll tell you.
Because she's still in love with Ryan Connor. Is that it?
Hey, look, I don't want to talk about this right now.
Tell me why you're checking up on me. So help me God, I'll kill you.
I never should have called you. I never should have seen you, Ryan.
No, but you did. We can work this out together.
I have to make this marriage work. I have to help Barrett.
Jenny. You still love me, don't you? Don't you?
I love you, Ryan.
You're a big hero. No, I just happened to be around at the right time. Steve heard a noise coming from the cellar, and then
And then I
he came and got
suppose
me.
you and Jenny had a tearful reunion.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we did.
And I suppose that you took it from there.
I don't know what that means. What does it?
It means that you asked Jenny to leave me, didn't you? You asked her to go off with you.
No, Barrett, I didn't ask her that.
Don't pull that innocent act on me, Connor. I know you love my wife. And I'm warning you. Stay away from her.
Mr. Connor, you wanted this letter to go out. It's ready for your signature.
Oh, thank you very much, Ashley.
I was wondering, I haven't had lunch yet. Would you mind if I went out now?
Oh, I don't see why not.
Mr. Connor, would you mind answering a question for me?
Well, I'll try. What's the question?
Well, do you think that Justin Marshall is really serious about his new job here at World Oil?
Now, why are you asking me that, huh?
Oh, well, he's always clowning around and everything. It really doesn't seem very serious, do you think?
Oh, Justin do all right. He's smart and he's very ambitious. No, I think he's serious enough about his work.
Well, you know, Mr. Connor, sometimes I've wondered if maybe he was after your job. I mean, he really strikes me as that kind of person. What do you think?
I think you better go get your lunch.
Irina,
What are you doing here?
I just wanted to apologize.
For what?
Well, I figured after I left, you and Max must have had a fight.
Isn't that what you wanted?
No, that's not what I want. I don't want to cause you any trouble.
Then why didn't you let me handle Max my way? You knew how he'd react when you told him you wanted to drill for oil in his land.
I guess I just let my enthusiasms get the best of me. I apologize if I caused you any trouble at all.
All right. Apology accepted. Just don't let it happen again.
Well, may I come in for a minute?
I don't think that'll be a very good idea.
Max went to Houston. He's not going to be back for quite a while.
How do you know where he went?
One of the ranch hands told me.
Come in.
Thank you.
For a minute.
Had a real nice chat with old man Harper.
You gonna drill for oil in his land?
Well, maybe, if he sells it to me.
You think he will?
Well, he's thinking about it. I have to get back to World Oil to ask Alex to back me on it.
Good for you.
I'm only sorry that things didn't work out for you and Max, Rena.
Well, I haven't given up yet. I'll just have to find another way. Thanks for trying.
Max, I'm on the verge of breaking into the big time. And I am not going to give that all up now. I've worked too hard for it.
I can see how hard you've been working. It shows.
What do you mean?
Look at yourself. You look tired and nervous. You look almost as bad as this trailer does. You can't go on living like this.
Max, I have to, don't you see? people like my singing.
But it's not worth it, living in danger.
Max, I'm not in danger. Look, I just happen to know Chris Shaw and Bernie. I mean, it's just a coincidence, that's all.
And they just happened to get murdered, both of them.
Whoever killed Chris and Bernie, they're not interested in me. I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, that's all.
Twice.
And I'm not alone. I've got my friends to protect me.
What friends?
I've got Jeb, and I've got Billy Joe, and Ricky.
Elena, you got to face reality.
And they're all supporting me, Max. They all believe that I'm going to be a hit singer. Aunt Maggie, too.
Elena, honey, you're still so young. You got plenty of time.
Max, I cannot quit now. I am not giving it up.
But there'll be lots of other chances, better chances.
No, you get one break in the record business, Max, and this is it. I am not going to blow it.
I'm worried about you. I wish you'd listen to me.
Max, I'm all right. And I appreciate your concern. But I am going to stay in Houston.
I don't like what's happening to you. I don't like it one bit.
Max, what has happened, or what is going to happen, is that I am going to have a hit song and a hit record. And I am going to be somebody.
No matter what it costs.
No matter what it costs.
I don't understand you.
Max, I am going to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
I knew someone else once who went chasing after rainbows. And she didn't find out till it was too late that the gold was here all the time.
Too bad Alex had to leave early. Wasn't ill, was he?
No, he's all right. He's just very concerned about his wife.
Why, something wrong with Iris?
No, he hadn't heard from her all day, and he just wanted to make sure she wasn't sick.
Well, I hope she's all right.
So what can I do for you, Justin?
Well, I had some good news to talk to Alex about. I've been able to arrange to lease some land right next to Max Decker's and the Marshall Ranch.
What for?
Didn't you take a look at the geological survey that I got hold of? The one done on Max Decker's place?
Yeah, I saw it.
Well, the land that I intend to lease is the Harper land.
Well, from what I saw of it, the potential pool lies several hundred yards from the Harper property.
But doesn't it stand to reason that these potential pools extend on to the Harper property?
No, not from what I understand about oil. You can drill a dry hole 100 yards from a producing well. No guarantee that oil pools will extend for any distance at all.
But it could happen, though, couldn't it?
Yes, Justin, it could. But do you have any other proof? Even a more recent survey would help.
Well, no, I don't have any other proof. I still think it's worth doing, though.
Well, I'm not convinced at all, not about the Harper property. Now, if you told me that Max Decker would give us a lease to drill, well, that'd be something else, wouldn't it?
Well, Max is a very stubborn man. He does not like to look at oil wells. But he's going to have to look at a lot of them when we put them up all over the Harper property. Goodbye, Ryan.
Would you like to hear some very nice things about yourself?
I always like to hear nice things about myself.
That's what I thought.
Well, do you think that Justin Marshall is really serious about his new job here at World Oil?
Now, why are you asking me that, huh?
Oh, well, he's always clowning around and everything. Really doesn't seem very serious, do you think?
Oh, Justin do all right. He's smart and he's very ambitious. No, I think he's serious enough about his work.
Well, you know, Mr. Connor, sometimes I've wondered if maybe he was after your job. I mean, he really strikes me as that kind of person. What do you think?
I think you better go get your lunch.
Now, listen, of course, I was just saying those things trying to pick him. See if he had anything really interesting to say.
I'm glad you like your new toy, Ashley. Why don't you call me when, if you get anything else interesting on it, huh?
Well, I just might do that.
What's going on in here?
Leave us alone.
Why? So you can punch each other out?
We have to talk. Can't do it with you around. Go upstairs, find something else to do.
Barrett, stop talking to me like that.
I don't want to have to ask you again.
Ginny, I think it's gonna be all right.
But I won't stand here.
Where were you the other night?
Jim Barr's Inn.
Why weren't you registered then?
Jim is an old friend of mine from the Army. I saved his life in Vietnam. He won't take any money from me when I stay there. I never register. If you'd come to me direct, instead of sneaking around behind my back, could have avoided all this trouble. Now, if you'd like to go ahead and check with Jim, be my guest.
I don't want to do that.
What in the hell did you think you were up to?
It doesn't matter. I made a mistake. Let's let it go at that.
It matters to me. And I want an answer.
Look, I don't see any point in discussing it.
You think I'm crazy, don't you? You think I locked Ginny in that cellar to keep her away from Ryan Connor. Isn't that so?
I don't know what to make of you anymore, Barrett. I don't know what you're going to say, what you're going to do from moment to moment now.
So you do think I'm crazy?
I think that you need some professional help. Because, you see, Ginny is trying her damnedest to make this marriage work. But she can't do this with your jealous behavior. You understand
Thank you for your thoughtful advice. You know, for a mere ranch hand, you make quite the amateur psychologist. But you can stop practicing on me. I don't like it.
I love Ginny, and I want her to be happy. And I want you to be happy, and I want you to have a marriage that works.
It will work when people like you stop interfering in our lives.
I'm not interfering, but I am not going to stand around here and watch you mistreat my sister like that. You understand
My
that?
relationship with Ginny is none of your business. I don't want to have you interfering or involving yourself in it again. You understand?
But I am involved. She's my sister, and I live here.
No, not anymore, you don't. As of this moment, I'm telling you to get off this ranch. Never show your face here again.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.
Is Mrs. Corey. Louise? Hey! she gonna be back? Or would you tell her something? Tell her I want to speak to her. It's very important. Tell her. It's very important when I speak to her. Thanks. Jamie.
Well, you're back among the living. Barely, yeah. You want some coffee here? Oh, thank you. Well, how you feeling? Don't ask. Listen, you better get some rest. I've got some things to take care of, and I'll check in on you later, all right?
Good morning, Dr. Delaney.
Oh, good morning, Alice.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
You know, I haven't had much chance to look out the window. Is it beautiful?
Yes, it is.
You seem very cheerful this morning.
I am.
Now, is there any special reason?
Oh, there might be.
Well, are you going to tell me what it is?
What would you say to a lovely dinner at La Berge with candlelight and a charming companion?
Oh, that sounds awfully nice. And who is the charming companion?
Zachary Colton.
Zachary Colton.
Yes, do you know him?
I don't exactly know him, but I have met him.
From the way you talk, I gather he's not exactly one of your favorite people.
That's not exactly true, but Alice, maybe I should give you a little friendly advice.
What?
And be very careful of that man.
Why?
Oh, he can, be a snake.
Aren't you being a little melodramatic?
Oh, not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm probably understating the case. Just listen to me and watch out for that man.
Hi.
Good morning.
What are you doing here so early?
You aren't glad to see me?
Of course I am. It's just early, that's all.
Well, you see, I got a lot of studying to do here, you know? And I figured since both of us don't have any classes today, you could give me a hand.
I see.
Well, that is if you're still up to helping me. And you got the time.
Come on in. I'm just gonna go get dressed first.
Okay.
Oh, and I know you're hungry, so you can go help yourself to the refrigerator, okay?
Oh, thank you. Sally?
Yeah.
There is something I gotta tell you.
You do?
Yeah.
What?
About the weekend.
What about it?
I got the car from Clarice.
You did?
I did.
We're going?
We sure are.
Ah, that's wonderful.
I knew you wanted to do that.
Yes, I did.
And now, the continuing story of Another World.
Baby. He's a happy baby. Yes. You can't smile for me. You can't smile for me, huh?
Mrs. Clary, Mr. Blake is here.
Show him in.
Hello.
Hello, Mitch.
Hope you don't mind my dropping by.
Of course not.
Is Mac here?
Yes, you gonna talk to me? No, he left for the complex early. You sweet thing. Oh, yes.
I want to see Matthew for one final time.
What do you mean?
Well, until there's a decision on my visitation rights, I think it's clear that I'm not welcome here.
I'm sorry, Mitch. I really am.
Don't be sorry. It's not your fault.
Oh,
Do you mind?
okay, Tiger. Okay, yes, he's in a bouncy mood.
Whoa. All right, looking good today. You been out playing hockey today? Is that it?
I'm afraid he's getting awfully sleepy and awfully hungry for his bottle.
Okay. All right, buddy.
Here we go. I'll give him his bottle now, Mrs. Corey.
Thank you, Louise.
I've decided to leave Bay City.
You really think that's necessary?
I think it is. I don't want to be so close to Matthew and not be able to see my own son whenever I want to.
Where will you go?
I don't know yet.
I'm terribly sorry it's turned out this way. I really am.
It's not your fault. You had no choice.
I thought I had it all sorted out when I was in St. Croix. Nothing's turned out the way I planned.
It's all right. You don't have to say anything. Believe me, I understand. I just think it would be better for everybody concerned if I was out of the picture.
What about your work?
Well, I'm not really concerned about that. Things have gone sour anyway.
Why?
Well, new people have taken over the business. They have plans for the club, and I just can't see what they want to do with it. So I'm not going to try to fight them. I'm going to sell out.
Oh, Mitch, none of this should be happening to you.
But it is. I'll live with it.
Mrs. Corey, excuse me, I'm sorry, but there's something I forgot to tell you.
What, Louise?
Jamie called last night.
Jamie?
Yes, he said it was important. I'm sorry, it completely slipped my mind.
No, that's all right. Where is he?
He didn't say. All he said, it was important that he reach you.
All right, thank you, Louise. Something must be wrong.
Why do you say that?
Well, Jamie, he hasn't talked to me in weeks. It's got to be something serious for him to want to talk to me.